Now, obviously, I haven't seen every anime this season. I usually watch all my anime on Crunchyroll now, and occasionally Netflix, but it's been a while since I watched anything on Netflix. I don't know, I haven't been in the mood, I guess. Anyway, so my favorite this season, from what I have seen that is on Crunchyroll, that I believe just finished today, which is the 17th of June, uh, Remonster. Now, I really like this one, and there's 12 episodes. Anyway, like, I'm not sure 100% of it's over. I'm pretty sure that, like, the way they ended the episode, it looks like it's like we're ending, but we're leaving off for the next season type of thing, you know? Like, sometimes you can just kind of tell by the vibe and how they end things. So, using my expertise, and what I mean by that is I've watched a lot of anime, so hopefully I'm picking up on cues that are actually there and I'm not just bullshitting, you know? Anyway, so for what I have noticed from the stuff I have watched, it seems like they are open ending it. Anyway, so yeah, Remonster. Now, the premise is pretty simple, pretty fun. Now, um, so we open up and I think it's like a black screen, and then it's like there's like neon signs everywhere, and it looks like it's raining or something, and like you hear a sound, and I think I actually said this audibly when I first saw it. I'm like, is motherfucker getting stabbed? What is that? And then second later, yeah, someone's getting stabbed. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think they show it, but they don't show it, you know. But it's like some chick on top of this guy, and she's just stabbing the fuck out of him in the middle of the fucking street. And he's just like, my name is. Well, I guess that doesn't really matter right now, does that? I'm like, yeah, no, dude, you're pretty much getting stabbed. Like, you're full fish. I'm pretty sure you're dead by now. So yeah, he wakes up as a baby goblin in another world. So it's one of those reborn isekai type things. And I don't know why I was doing this off to the side. You couldn't really see. That's probably all you saw. But yeah, it's like reborn isekai. I don't know, but like isekai is basically when you're going to another world. But a lot of times they're transferred alive to another world, to another dimension, another planet, wherever the fuck it is. It's some other place other than where the fuck they were beforehand. And in this case, he died getting stabbed by some crazy chick. Which by none of this is explained. Like he's literally just getting stabbed, and then he's reborn as a baby goblin in a cave. Okay. Like we don't get any information on who the fuck this woman was. There was no epic fight we saw. Just motherfucker on the ground getting stabbed. I'm like, okay, all right. We can explain that this season. Nope. Okay. So we don't know who the fuck that woman was, or why the fuck she was stabbing him. But maybe it's just me. But she seemed a little too happy to be stabbing him. Like this bitch was like turned on by it. Like it was full on like I was like either this is personal on a whole other level, or this bitch has a kink. I don't I don't know what's going on. But yeah, don't just forget about her because she doesn't exist this season. She's like you don't even really get to see her face. I think you get like to see like the side of her face, her hair, and like I think you get to see her outfit, but like you don't get to see her face. I don't really at least not. I think like maybe you see like that. Like there's a bit like it's. I believe it's one of those I've seen in the first episode, but like I believe it's like shadowed to the point you can't see everything at the very least, but you could tell that she was having a little too much fun. Anyway, so yeah, happy stab time apparently, and yeah, he wakes up as a baby goblin, and we don't really get a lot of his life. I don't think we even get his name. I think he was like literally about to introduce himself, and he's like, okay, fuck it, I don't really need to right now. You know, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm like, yeah, accurate. You're dead. You're dying. You're dead. Like your name no matter doesn't really matter at this point, does it? And yeah, our main character is the one that was getting stabbed. In case you didn't figure that out, and I didn't make that obviously clear. Um, yeah, he's getting stabbed, and he's reincarnated as a goblin. I've only said that what 3 times now. Did you get it? He got stabbed. He's reincarnated as a goblin. Okay, so he's a goblin baby. But it's quite clear he remembers his past life. Now, in this past life, we don't really know anything about the world, but we do know that he had a bunch of skills and they were reset to 0, but he did keep one of his skills, where he has the ability to, whatever he eats, he has the ability to get something from it, like some kind of skill, something like that. like, try not to ruin anything, but I'm trying to think of something. Okay, yeah. So he can eat something poisonous and get poison resistance. Does that make sense? And it doesn't have to be like, it can literally be organic or inorganic material that he could eat. And he has a chance of getting. I think he says he has a chance of getting stuff, but like I don't remember him ever eating something and not getting like 50,000 fucking things. Like this motherfucker gets the fucking like Mary Poppins bag full of skills. You will not see him use all of these fucking skills. You will see him use several favorites. And I'm one of the person that's like pause and read all the skills he's got because it'll stay on the bottom and then it'll have like an auto voice, like he has like that. Kind of like how, and I forgot Reincarnated as a Slime Remo has, like, Raphael. Where it's like this kind of, like, automated voice in his head. It's kind of like that. But so far it's just an automated voice. There's no personality where it was, I can't remember, God, I need to go back and watch, Slime. But, like, it does develop its own personality. Where this one, at least for now, it's just an automated voice, kind of just calling shit out that's happening. And there are plenty of times where you will need to pause to actually read what's going on because it'll like kind of pop up like a game menu almost, where a lot of times it'll be like a completely black screen and then white text, and you need to pause really quick unless you can read like you need to pause and see what's going on. Also, sometimes, especially later on in the episodes, it'll give like that kind of thing again, but there'll be like big black, or I guess white, to simulate white text on a black background of like dots, like blanks almost. So it gives some information and other things will be blanked out, and you find that that information is blanked out usually because some condition or something hasn't been met yet, and until it's been met, it's kind of blanked out. They don't fully explain it. You just kind of learn as you're going, and you're like, oh, okay, that's probably what it is. It's not like there's a full fucking guide. He's like, and this means that. Like, no, you kind of just get it from watching. It's not exactly spoon feeding you everything. It gives you what you need, and then the rest are just kind of, oh, okay, that's probably what it is. But yeah, so it's basically just him as Goblin, and Goblin's like, how do I put this? So we do see him age. I don't want to say his name because their names do change throughout the series, and I know you're like, what the fuck? Okay. Things happen and they get like they're named initially, and then things happen and then they get another name, and then of course there's like this true name thing that we don't really know like what the requirements are of it. But so far I can only think of like 3 characters I think that get a true name. 2 being main, 1 being a side. But yeah, our main character is, I think his first name is Gobkichi. But yeah, so we're experiencing this through his perspective. So basically it's he remembers his past life. He still has his skill where he eats something. He can get other skills and stuff from it, other abilities, what have you. Cool shit, basically. And it's basically just him essentially. I want to say the word, but I don't want to give it away. But it's like leveling up and learning new skills and acquiring allies and testing skills and eating things and getting more skills. It's like that. So there's a lot of like battles and fighting and interesting characters. Yeah, obviously my favorite is my favorite. And we do have love interests in this show, which is not like it's kind of like it's subtle. Like it's not thrown in your face, which I feel like a lot of the stuff I watch is it's pretty thrown in your face who the fuck the love interest is, and there's always like oh, I love you, I've loved you from this, like they're all fucking dramatic about it. Here it's like it's like subtle flirting, and then they're kind of like naturally together. Like, it's not like a big fucking show. No, it's like a casual flirting, and then kind of like a slightly big moment, and then it's like, okay, now they're all together. I will let you know, there is a harem in this show, so if you don't like one guy, our main character, having a lot of wives, which he doesn't really call them wives. or anything. He just kind of, like, it feels so natural and so subtle compared to other things. Like, there's no grand fucking show, really. But it's obvious, like, it's pretty obvious that it looks like these girls aren't really doing anything else with anyone other than him. And he obviously treats them all really well. I think the most obvious has always been Gobme. That's her name at first. And she's from the same generation as Okichi is. Or, from Gobkichi's, our main character. She's like the first thing, and also they don't show it, but it's pretty obvious that they take humans and procreate against their will. Luckily they don't show it, but they show enough that, like, our main character goes one day to, like, the storage or whatever to see if there's anything he can use to build or some shit. And you open the door and you see, like, they don't show everything, but they do show enough to, like, you see, like, naked thighs, like, naked chests, so you know they're in there, they're women, they're naked. And it's pretty obvious it wasn't consensual. And like, it's clear they're already there. Like, we don't know who the mom or dads are of any of these kids. They're just kind of, like, raised together, I guess. Like, there's no real mom and dad concept here. Like, I don't think you'll even know who the fuck they are. I don't think even they know who the fuck gave birth to who. I don't think it really matters in this series. You don't see their faces either. But I will let you know that that shit does end in our main character's generation. Where the girls he found mysteriously end up committing suicide, which I don't think they show this. So maybe it's just me pulling this out of my ass, but I have a feeling they didn't just find poison somehow. Like, something tells me maybe our main character left some in there for them to, because they were pretty far gone. Like, we don't know anything about them really, but it's heavily implied they probably wouldn't have been okay. And then they end up killing themselves somehow. So I think maybe he left something there for them to make that choice themselves. But like I said, I don't know if I'm just pulling that out of my ass. It's like a theory I have. We don't see it. He doesn't say anything. It's just, I've watched the episode a couple times. I'm like, because, like, why is it after he finds them that then they, it happens, But I mean, really notice because we hear, like, the generation which would be like the fathers of our main character's generation, I guess, come back with more women. And he's, the oldest goblin, Gobkichi, is like, oh, good, you brought more because, our last, they killed themselves. And it's kind of all we really get. And don't worry, the girls from our main character's harem, those are the new ones. Those are the girls, and he's never forced them anything. He didn't allow anyone else to force themselves on them. He quickly, as soon as they got there, kind of made it known that he's the leader. Hey, well, if I be the leader, can I take care of them? Which is the guy that, like, I guess he's supposed to be like the leader of their, like, the previous generations. He just slips the fuck out for no reason. Like, our main character goes up to him and it's like super, like, he's not being aggressive, he's not showing any disrespect, and he's just like, hey, can I be in charge of the girls? Like, literally just the most cool, calm looking guy's like they're just fucking throws a fucking fit for no goddamn, like, it's not like you're being disrespected. He was literally just like, hey, can I watch the girls? Can I be in charge of watching them? Pretty mundane. Loses the shit. Battle commences, and it's pretty obvious he fucking wins. And then, our main character gets in charge of the girls, and so they're like the new captive women, but, like, they've never been forced. There's, like, a moment where Dipshit McGee, that threw a fit that I just told you about, did try with several others to start something. They learned real fucking quick that was a bad idea. They get the shit kicked out of them, and at least one of those fuckers died from getting the shit kicked out of him. And he's just like, hey, can you wake everyone up, please? And like this random guy here is like Shiny comes in, he's like, what's he's like, yeah, can you or my character's like, yeah, can you wake everyone up real quick? He's like, we come back and we just see we see motherfucker hanged in spider webs. And we hear thumping. That something's getting the shit kicked out of him. You know, like when a punch lands, like we're hearing that thump, that sound, that thump. And yeah, that fucker dies. He wasn't missed. But yeah. So I didn't want to spoil anything, but I wanted to like give a heads up in case I was trigger warning for anyone. But other than that, like, I can't really think of anything super bad. Oh, maybe pregnancy horror. Yeah, people do kind of spoiler get pregnant in this show, and spoiler is free rapidly developing pregnancy. So that's fucking terrifying. Like, it just fucking, like, I don't really feel good. And the next day, full on term pregnancy. Well, so if you're a little scared of pregnancy horror, which I didn't know that was a thing until I was watching a video of someone talking about a movie, and they're like, "Oh yeah, pregnancy horror." I was like, "Oh fuck, that's right, that's a thing." See, I just that's it. It's like, rape is, grape is implied. You don't see it, but so if that's a trigger, that's, and you know, like kind of the pregnancy horror type thing, you don't really like, you kind of see but you kind of don't. So, but just if you're real sensitive to that stuff, you maybe skip this one. I mean, I think it's still worth a watch, but if it's like really triggering for you, great show, but don't make yourself uncomfortable or sick, you know. Anyway, but I made it sound really pretty bleak. I'm sorry. But like, I'm trying not to get everything away because like, a lot happened. It was a lot of fun. I really like this show, and I really want more. And we end with some sick ass uniforms. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this show. I was not expecting the pregnancy horror. That was like, what? Like, thankfully it happened so quickly in a way that it wasn't like super creepy. But as a woman, I'm like, oh, okay, oh. Like, it took me a second. I was like, you know, but we're good. Anyway, yeah. So definitely check it out if it sounds like your cup of tea. And yeah, Brie Monster is super fun, and I loved it. And I would totally watch it again. And yes, it's on Crunchyroll. But I said that right, Crunchyroll. I don't know what else it's on. I just know that I watched it on Crunchyroll. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, reviews, and bye.